Hello, thank you for joining me. This is Bitcoin Gorilla, and today I am here to update you on what these sellers are planning, right? It's been a tiring month for BTC since the beginning of this month. Last month has been a down month for BTC, and now I am going to tell you what I am seeing likely coming on BTC. Now, mind you, this is going to be a multi-time frame analysis and it's going to favor all time frame traders. Thank you for joining me and thank you for sharing this watch time with me. If you do find this video quite informative, support me, support my ministry by giving me a thumbs up. Yeah. So let's jump right straight into it. So let's start with we're going to be starting with at this analysis with weekly chart, all right? We're going to look at the weekly chart. So if you've been following my analysis, the last analysis that talked about the dump coming, and I also talked about a bounce before the dump. I said we're likely going to see price getting to the point of 56k to 60k, and the reason why I'm doing this update is because we are in that resistance area. We are back into that resistance area. So if you look closely here, you're going to see that so far so good since the beginning of the pump. This is the first time we're really having a sideways that is being prolonged for a longer time. So this has not been experienced since the pump started. So this is the first time, and that is really something that we should keep at the back of our mind. So like you see my drawing here, you can also see that the resistance, like I said, I always say resistance is an area and not a line. So you can see that this coin has not been able to close above 60k. I'm talking about BTC. Weekly chart has not been able to successfully close above 60k. Each time they make it above 60k, they get pushed down, right? So now it is important that a candle closes above a very important whole number. Now 60k is a round figure number, and if you must know something, a lot of people don't like decimals because decimals are really complicated in terms of when it comes to putting orders. So you just want to put in that round figure and get going with the whole thing. So most people target round figure. So you see prices tending to move above round figure and then get drawn back, right? Because people sell, right? So round figure is actually mostly a strong resistance. Like we experienced the same thing when we arrived at 40k. Price took a while before it could break and stay above 40k. It took a longer. The same thing happened when we arrived at 20k. We had this constant push down before the buyers were able to conquer that 20k resistance. We experienced it in 40k, like I said. So it is the same thing we are experiencing now in 60k. But now the only difference in challenge in terms of the whole pullback is the rise in the dip that comes with the pullback, right? So the first dip we have on the weekly chart was quite very small, and you can see that the candles almost instantly got back, bought back, and ended up with dojis, right? Which is good, right? And the second pullback gets stronger than the first pullback. And then we had the third pullback. And the thing you should also note in is I want to take note of very important things that this price action is showing you. It's not just the importance of the pullback and how deeper it gets with each wave after each wave, it's also how the waves are also changing, right? So you see that this wave that we see here is, as we get to this point, you are having more rejections, you're having instant more pullback than here, right? So the wave here is we're having more sideways, you're having more accumulation, which can be a good thing and which can be actually also a bad thing depending on the direction that the breakout happened. Now when you see sideways movements like this, breakout can happen to any side. It can happen to the upside, it can happen to the downside. Now, if we look at this weekly chart, I really see some sort of a building of distribution going on, but you can also see that if I go to the daily chart, now I have two sellers line here. We have the white sellers. I have two buyers line actually right here. So you can see that I have the first one, which is the white one. Then I have the blue line. Now, why do I have two lines that are buyers line? Now, this means that this price is likely going to make the bounce continue at 2 point at which this one is already acting, is in play, which is the daily chart. Now this is the daily chart. This daily chart is already in play. As you can see, price bounced off of it. You can see the reaction of this price, right? So that's around 48k, right? That's where we got the bounce. Now, and then price made it way back to this resistance, and the important thing is how price keeps getting rejected around here. Now, in this for daily chart, it looks like price actually made it, but you can see that the resistance is an area now. Can see the resistance is now an area. Right now, each dip we make that is deeper only shows signs of weakness. Right, it only shows signs of weakness. Now, mind you, if daily chart to the lower time frames are now showing signs of distribution, which is the third stage in price action life cycle, when we have equilibrium between buyers and sellers, and then we have a pullback, but that does not mean the trend is changing on higher time frame. Right, so in this situation, the chances are that so far so good, we have been respecting this trend line. Now, if I draw another trend line, I told you, like, we have broken this one. Right, this is the first one we broke. This is the first trend line. Now, this first trend line is actually the 4 hours trend line. Right, so this is the 4 hours trend line. We broke that earlier. Right, and when we broke that, we see price heading for the daily chart support. Now, this is the daily chart support trend line. That's what we are in now, and that is what is acting as support. Now, remember this time frame, depending on which one you are trading, the support on higher time frames tend to be stronger than the support on lower time frame. Right, so if you're buying support and and selling resistance, you know that the higher time frames are more reliable than the lower time frame, because the lower time frames get easily broken. Like, if I even go lower, like 1 hour chart, you're going to see another trend line was broken even before this 4 hours trend line was broken, and that is this trend line right here. Right, there's another trend line right here. Right, something like this. Right, no, not this one. No, I think the 4 hours and the 1 hour, we are actually sharing the same the same trend line. Right, so you want to even see it. It's good when you have time frame sharing the same support. Right, when you have price is on support on 4 hours, is on support on daily chart, is on support on weekly chart, is on support on monthly chart, you are quite on assured that chances of 75% of you making that right is high. So that's what we are looking for. And right now we see that the 4 hours, like I say, is broken down, so it has failed, and right now we are bouncing from the daily chart support. Now, here is one thing about this chart you must take note of. Now, this our previous broken support is going to act as resistance. So I'm going to be considering the possibilities in this video. Now, don't shoot the analyst. I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing, and as an analyst, I always stay open-minded, which means I have to consider what I'm seeing that is likely going to play out for the bulls, and also what are the chances that these sellers are going to hit this market. Right, so when I after seeing what I'm saying, then I compare the one that is likely going to play out between the two. So me and you are going to do this analysis from so that you're going to actually know which one is going to play out. Now, so if you see these buyers, if they are able to keep pushing, because this is a very important area, right? Where we are right now, you see price is really struggling. They could get rejected and get pulled back to this 50K area. Now that is not good, right? That is not good, because that will be more heat on the support line, and the more a support line is hit, the more likely it's going to break. So if these bears succeed in stopping these bulls from crossing this 60K area and make it above 62 60K to, they will get rejected. I see rejection really happening around 67K to 66K, right? So if they really made it above this 62K, let's say these bulls really hold up with this daily chart like they are doing right now, and because this broken for hours um support before, which is now going to act as resistance, between that 68K 66K, that those two K area is an area that is likely going to push price really a strong rejection. And if that happens, it's going to be a forceful move down that will bring us down to this point, right? Now, if they get rejected here, you can see a move like this, right? And it's going to come back here. Right. This is if the bears reject them at this point, because we are at a very strong sellers area, so chances of high rejection is here. So if you ask me, what should you be buying bitcoin now or should you be selling bitcoin now, it will depend on the time frame you are trading. If you're trading lower time frame, yes, right now bitcoin is on a crossroad. Trust me, I don't like trading resistance. Before I can buy this market has to cross 68K. It's not about the price to me, it's about the profit that I'm going to make. If there's no chances of profit, then chances of loss is high, right? And you don't want to get stuck in this market trying to catch 2K move and end up losing 4K move. So this area, as long as Bitcoin is concerned, patient is key. There's really nothing to trade here. It is literally still a sideways market. So it is not really a strong advice to actually trade the market every day, because right now this market is not tradable. Yeah, it's breaking out like you will say, but what is the chances of a fake out? It's high. This is the first fake out. That is a bad sign. That is a bad sign, because now you can see that the move is no longer going higher, and this broken line is likely going to act as a resistance. So if it's not breaking 68K, I don't see price running to 100K right now. I really see price coming back to this 40K. Depending on the sell pressure, it could go lower. It could go lower. So I think patient is key. I still see 50K coming. I still see 55K coming. But if you're trading for hours, 1 hour, lower time frames, scalping this market, trying to get daily trader be trying to get profit daily by scalping this market, then it's okay to make some profit out of this market, because these moves on the lower time frame are enough to give you something. But trust me, it is not even good to trade a sideways market, in my opinion. This market is not tradable. Simple. It's not tradable right now. Right now. Best advice for me, I wait for breakout, right? That's my best advice. Wait for breakout of 68K. Then you can go in to avoid buying fake out, because this rejection is just too much. It's just too much, right? Like this is way too much. This is way too much, right? So this daily chart, if it gets hit again, is becoming weaker and chances of breakdown. That's if 50K is hit one more time, it's not going to be good for the bulls. Believe it or not. This it's not going to be a good news for the Bitcoin bulls. And as a Bitcoin gorilla, I am ready to shut anything that goes down and get rejected, but I'm also ready and open to buy anything that breaks this resistance and makes the move up. I am a price action trader, and the trend is still bullish on the higher time frame. What we are only seeing is pullbacks. Like if you look at the weekly chart, like I say, the monthly chart is just having the first pullback. Like, come on, this trend is really going more up, right? But the pullback, the first pullback we're having, is a hanging man. It's a hanging man red candle right there. So even if this one makes it above, it's going to likely get pushed down again. And we could see price actually coming this low again, right? That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. So if you are actually someone who is hoping to make some good bets or buy more, I would say that actually taking some profit is good and buying more is good. But closing the position entirely right now will be something that I'll tell you that this is not a financial advice. So make sure you do your diligent research before you put this into action, right? But I do still tell you what I'm seeing in this market is we are not done with the pullback is not over yet. So looking at this chart right here, I said breakout or fake out, right? Why do I say that? Like if you look closely, it is no coincidence that just here around 68K, this our sellers line that I drew earlier is also there, right? So that's where it is, right? So that's the rejection line, right? Resistant acting as support, right? If I drew it, so you see the midpoint, that meeting point is very essential, right? This point is very essential. So it's either they get rejected right here or they get rejected right here, right? And it's going to be a move down. And I see me myself making more money in this move than this move, right? This move could happen too fast, right? This move down could happen too fast, just like this happened too fast. This is going to be faster than this, and this is something that is good to consider. So if you are planning to buy more right now, I think you can get it cheaper than this. I think you can get cheaper entry than the correct price. Now, what will this do to altcoin? If you ask me, Bitcoin Gorilla, what will this do to altcoin? Now, altcoins are going to react to whatever dump is coming to Bitcoin. Don't get deceived that they're going to keep pumping. If Bitcoin goes down, altcoins are going to react. And I've been talking about this going down, going down, going down, going down for a while now. I've been talking about this going down since April. I started it on April 1st. My first post about this dump that is coming is April 1st. I'm trying to warn you that at this point where Bitcoin is, we could see 40 to 30K still coming to Bitcoin right now. We could see this price coming. Now, what are the chances? Like I said, these bulls are actually at the crossroad. If we could get a good volume. Now, the reason why this is scary, like this scares me, is that I'm not seeing good volume. Now, each time there is a breakout, before the breakout, we see a good volume. Now, this is the daily chart. Look at this volume here before the breakout started. Look at this volume here before the breakout started. But in this situation, we are seeing no volume. Look, just look at this one. There's no volume. There's a volume here even before the breakout happened, right? There's a volume here even before the breakout happened. But in this current time where we are, I am not seeing that volume, which means chances of fake out is high. So even if Bitcoin breaks out, like I'm seeing this pressure they are putting on this area right now, they could still make it, but they won't go far before getting instantly rejected and pulled back down. I don't see 80K yet. I am seeing my target has always been, if you've been following me, the target on this move has been 68K, right? 68K has been my old target. Once I get to 68K, trust me, if these bulls are able to make it to 68K, oh my goodness, I'm happy about that. I don't see above that happening soon. At worst case scenario, 72K, 68K to 72K. Yes, if this boost will surprise me, but I really see 40K to 30K. No doubt about that. Thank you so much for watching and sharing this watch time with me. I am Bitcoin Gorilla. One love. If you find this video informative, do subscribe so that you'll be alerted anytime. Alerted, alert. Oh, Sorry, don't mind my English. Nigerian now, so it be manage it as long as I'm passing my message. I love you all. Shout out to all Machiavelli traders. We love you.